Evening, everybody. Today we are going to stream the daily Crazyhouse arena at leechess.org. It's an event with 5+0 as the time control. It takes about
10, 9,
1.5
8,
hours, as you can see here.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Not a lot of players have joined so far, but I think it will get better in the near future. First opponent, the Robotics. Not yet berserking, I might berserk later in the tournament. Let's get a few games going first. While I was offline, I had a few new followers. I see. Thank you, Mixu Chess, Kryptone, and Gios Bolt for following. Also, Dionysos Rex, if I pronounced that correctly, has followed. Thank you very much. What to do here? I guess I'll part with the queen and go knight g5. Now I'm threatening knight at g6, and if he takes, I have queen at h7, and if he doesn't take, the king has to move to g8, and I have queen at h8. So he moves the bishop. And now I have to decide if I move my bishop back, or if I go aggressive with knight takes e6 or something like that. Or knight at g3 is also an option. Oh, he doesn't have any pawns, so let's just move back and see what he does. It's good to guard f2 multiple times. And also he would like to put a pawn on h3 or f3 to harass my king, but he doesn't have any pawns, and also my knight is guarding these important squares. So I'm relatively safe on both the light squares and the dark squares, which is a good thing. Alright, he covers c6, but I guess now it's time to go aggressive, since he still doesn't have anything on my king, and he can't actually take this pawn, because then I'll have a great attack and probably checkmate soon. I guess he wants to go bishop at f3 or something like that. Let's take with the pawn. If he hasn't had a knight, he could have played queen at g1, and then knight at f2 will be checkmate, but he doesn't have one, so I'm safe for now. And now there are threats on his back rank, so he has to be careful. Well, he still decides to play it. Maybe he wanted to draw me away from f8, which is reasonable, but now I have this free move knight g5, which threatens checkmate, but also gives me the opportunity to place a knight on f7 next, which he allows. Let's see if I have a checkmate here. I'm thinking knight at f7 and takes h6 should be enough. If he doesn't take, I have this knight takes e6, and if he does take, I'll just take back, and then afterwards I can take on h6. I do have to keep checking though, or defend against the knight at f2. Otherwise I'm busted, but this should be made in a few moves. Pawn at f7 next, and rook at h7, or take the rook on the e8, and that will be checkmate. Yeah, and therefore he resigns. Alright, first game in the bag. Happy to take that one. Let's see who's playing. H-bar already withdrew, just played one game, I guess. Oleg Winner is one of the strong players who's joined. 17 players so far, so already 10 more than when we started, which is nice to see. Renault 2019. Well, let's build this one and play the knight f3 d4 variation, and let's see what he wants to do. If he doesn't play d5, I might go for e4, but he does play d5. Yeah. If knight at d4, then just cover d2 with bishop d2, but he doesn't play that. And now if he plays something at e4, I can protect with queen e1. Well, this seems rather risky. I played rook b1 and he just he castled right into my scope of the rook. And I already trade one of his defenders there. So this will give me well, I think pretty easy play against this king. Already I target b7. I could take with the rook and then take on his a7 if he takes the knight, or I could just take with the knight. I think I'll take with the rook, because afterwards, if I take a7 with the rook, his queen will again be attacked, and then I can decide what to do. Maybe bishop g5 and queen b1 is an option, or pawn at b7. I don't know. Depends on what he plays. I mean, and now I think I can play pawn at h6, threatening pawn at b7, and he has to sacrifice material then. Alright, he sees the threat. But now I can just win the queen. And if he, well, it should be checkmate shortly. Let's see. I think this is the most correct way to play this. If he took, I had queen at a7 and a4, queen d3 would have been checkmate. Alright, on to an early lead. I hope everything is okay with the sound. If not, please let me know. My throat is a bit sore, so I'm not talking that loud, but I could try to talk a little bit louder if it's necessary. Well, also Oleg Winner withdrew. That's sad. Would like to have battled today with him. Well, plenty of players in the chat, so I think I'll get a game shortly. I don't know. Yesterday also in the Elite Crazyhouse arena, it took a while to get a pairing, but okay, there we go. Thank you, Mixu Chess, for telling me the sound is great. And welcome, how are you doing? I hope you enjoy the Crazyhouse and the comments. Let's go knight f5. I don't mind him taking c6, and it will fortify my center. But now there's this little trick of knight takes e5 if he didn't take, but he does. And if he takes the bishop on d7, I can take back with the knight, and I win a pawn. Well, good to hear that, Mixu Chess. I'm doing great. It's been a lovely day in the Netherlands, and Easter weekend, so I'm free from studying and working. So I decided to finally put up a stream, which I've been thinking about a few weeks already. And I found this old headset that I'm using now, which had a microphone on it. So well, I tested it, and it, as you said, it seems to work fine. So in this game, my king is pretty safe, but I have sacrificed some material, some pawns. I think he has a lot of material in the bank, but his king is in a bit of trouble. I think I'm gonna play this sacrifice. If he takes, I will put a pawn on f3 and then play bishop e4, and then the bishop on c6 becomes a monster. There will be things with e3 in the air, or other moves. Queen h4 is an option, and I feel like my position is not maybe winning, but at least it's more comfortable than in his. Also, the bishop on d4 is now hanging, so he decides to sacrifice the material. I think I have to find some correct moves here. If I went to e8, he would have placed the bishop on f7, and then he could have taken on e6 at some moment, and I couldn't run towards c8 like I'm doing now, and on c8 I'm perfectly fine. I don't, however, want to sacrifice my queen for it, so I'll block with the knight. He's managed to get some counterplay, but at the cost of a queen, so this queen is very helpful for me. Let's see. Let's pin the bishop. And now I'm threatening stuff like queen at h3 and queen takes h2 meet. Hi, Hisoka CC. My games against you yesterday were probably my better games. There we go, as predicted. Mixu Chess, I'm not sure what your handle is at Lead Chess. I've played you, I guess, at freechess.org. I think you're Mixu there. Ah, the finisher. welcome. Are you also Mixu from Fix? Then in that case, we probably played a bunch of Buckhouse matches together. Right, nice. Also from the old Crazyhouse and Buckhouse school, you could say. And again, you will see me play this stuff a lot. I just like to, well, most of the times I also have G3 and Bishop G2, and it's not not the most challenging stuff to play for an advantage, but it gives me a free position, and usually black tries to sacrifice something, and then I'll just defend, which is kind of my style. Yeah, 2015. Yeah, I've been on free chess Fix, I guess 2009, 2010, something like that. And then lead chess started. Well, I don't know. I think I've been on lead chess for 2 or 3 years now, and it was just well, easier to play on lead chess than on Fix, and also most of the Crazyhouse community shifted to playing on lead chess, so I've stopped to play at Fix altogether. I don't know if they have updated their the website at all, or is it still the same? But I'm happy to play on lead chess, and if I want to play Buckhouse, I'll go to chess.com, where my handle is also Clearcast. Well, I'm quite happy with my position. I'm not threatening anything yet, but I have comfortable play. Maybe I'll go knight at c5 because the rook is on priest then. Yeah, it seems like a good move. And if he moves, then well, we'll see what we do then. Maybe knight takes d5 or something, and try to put a pawn on d7. Yeah. Usually I'm not that worried about losing a rook or anything like that. It's if it doesn't have any mating attack, I rather have knights to play with. Now I already threatened to play knight at e5, for example. Yeah, let's go for it. If he takes on d3, I think I have knight d7. Let's decline this one. He doesn't, so now he has to take, otherwise it's checkmate. No, he doesn't take. There we go. Well, 4 wins so far, not being in trouble yet, so that's nice. Oh yeah, he's so ak. I don't know how to pronounce it, but yeah, a true Buckhouse player. Then switching to Crazyhouse might be difficult. I also find it the other way around. I find it difficult to switch to Buckhouse when I'm just. Then you try to play your normal Crazyhouse openings, but then you don't get the material, and then you're just in all kinds of trouble. Well, my bishop should have been on c4 now, but it isn't, so that's slightly inaccurate by me. But let's deny him the possibility of playing pawn at h3 and then bishop takes h3. And maybe then go bishop c4 after, or bishop b5. And try to get in on his light squares. He wants to sack, I guess, so I'll let him sack and just take and see what happens. Obviously I don't want to trade queens right now. Let's go f3 and creates another escape square for my king. And he can play pawn at h3 or f3, but then I just move back to g1, I think. Maybe to h1 even. No, let's go to g1. Now bishop c5, I'll just block with the pawn at e3. And he has to prove that he has an attack. For example, now I just take the pawns. And although he has a bishop, he doesn't have that many pieces to work with. And even king h1 here is completely fine, I think. Let's see if what I want to do here. Let's just take the back. I thought about taking the knight on h5, but this seemed fine too. Let's get a little bit safe. Alright, I might have misplayed this a bit. Let's sack the queen and try to create a counterattack. Since he doesn't have that much pawns, that many pawns I mean, he would like to play something like pawn at h3 and pawn at g2, for example. Now I play pawn at g6, since there's this nasty pin on f7. And if he goes back with the knight, then well, I have this attack, which I wanted. Let's see how to take this. I think with the pawn, so that g6 will be free for knights in the future, maybe. I'm lucky that he only has one pawn. He wants to play it on h3 and I cover with the knight. And if he tries to repeat, I can take the knight. And if he takes my knight, I will play knight at g6 and there will be this attack. Yeah, nice comment, Dion Asotis Rex. Well, and with me you also have probably one of the how you say admirers, or I don't know, advocates for positional Crazyhouse. I'm often seen by other players as one of the most positional players, which you can disagree with or not, but at least I'm called that. I've put myself in a bit of trouble here. Let's see how he plans to win. I think I have to play rook g1 to cover g2. And I need a rook to play over here. Maybe I'll go knight e5 next and then threaten knight at g6. That will be that seems like a plan. Yeah, let's do it. Because the squares around my king are relatively safe. Does he mate me if he sacks? Yeah, he does. He's threatening queen takes g1 and the rook at g2 and rook at g1. So I have to deal with that. Let's see, knight at f3. And there's also this little trap now. If he takes the knight with his knight, oh, I just see. When I was trying to explain it, I saw I blundered mate. He can take the knight, and knight at f2 will checkmate. Bit too loose by me. Yeah, the game is indeed, I think, a lot more positional, and also there is some opening theory developing now. But still, there also tactically, Crazyhouse is very much alive, and like chess, tactics are the most important, I think. So please continue or restart playing Crazyhouse. I think you will get enough tactical games and not get outplayed positionally that much. At least if you play at your own level, of course. Same goes for me if I play against the 2700 guys, I tend to lose. You beat me in a 1-0 earlier. Alright. Good for you. What is your username then? Is it also the Nasotus Rex? I don't recall that one. But I myself, I noticed that playing Crazyhouse helped my calculation skills in the classical games. Not so much the concepts of where you put your pieces or something like that, but more the really raw calculations. You have just a force move after force move, and that well, that in the normal chess it gave me the ability to also calculate more force lines. Really bad at Crazyhouse. Yeah, I played you like an hour ago in the bullet arenas. Let's play accurate here, and then should be enough. The threat of rook g1, rook h2. Let's go king g8, and now king f8, so he can't harass me with some bishop at c5 or something where I have to block, and maybe there was some kind of line, I don't know, but it just seems prudent to let him place a piece which he now can't use in the defense. Bishop at g1, for example, would have been a defensive move. And now I tricked him into playing bishop at f7. Now it's very hard to deal with this threat. Knight at f3 maybe. But I just take that one and renew the threat. So this will be recovery win after the loss. Yeah, he realizes. Alright, happy to play this relatively good game after the one I lost against Deep Floyd, I think, yeah. No, Oleg Winner is back in the mix, I see. I'm happy to be first, but it's not yet over. If I get back on streak, I will be happy. Let's see if some other strong players are joining. Sharkmeister is also a veteran at Crazyhouse. I think he also played at Fix in the early days already, even before me, I think. Yeah, I figured. Well, it's I figured he would be around like forever, but he still is. He's hovering like around 2200, 2300 forever. I don't know if he just think it's okay like that, or does he try to get better? Yeah. He's crazy. He plays the Sicilian. Yeah, well, that's one of the. The Sicilian it probably isn't that good in Crazyhouse. It's very dangerous to give your opponent access to f7 and c7. Those are usually the weak squares. But then again, your opponent might underestimate you. Why is he playing the Sicilian? This must be bad. And then he will try to find the right moves, and he will spend time, or he will just mess up. And then that way it's justified to play the Sicilian. Yeah, you had to. Isok is saying that he had to get the 2100 rating. Well, good for you that you finished with 2300. That's a respectable rating at leadchess.org. At any site, for that matter. I would like to trade another bishop and then think about putting a bishop on f6. If I put it there now, then I wouldn't have another bishop to work with. Let's see. Now I'll play bishop at h4. If he decides to play f6, I can take on g6 and take on e4 then. I already could have taken e4 a few moves back. Forgot about that. This is a very pleasant position for me. My king is safe. So is his, but it's just easier for me to play this. Well, if he had taken with the f pawn, I think it would have been stronger. Then I would have needed to think about placing bishop at f4, since rook take f4 would have been on. Now I just win this pawn, and I can play for pawn at f6 or knight at g4 and stuff like that. And there we go. Let's get in. Sacrifice a pawn. And I probably will win the queen soon. Yeah, he already decides to sacrifice it. If he takes the pawn, there's mate with queen h6 and knight at e7. If he doesn't, I will have to find some more moves. Yeah, he sidesteps. Let's see how to do this. Let's go knight d7. Vetsen player, welcome. How long have I been playing Crazyhouse? I think since 2010 or 2011. When I started playing chess when I was 14, which is was 2006. I learned the game and only played over the board, but then a few years later I joined this website freechess.org, and on freechess.org there was also the opportunity to play lots of variants, and I tried them all. I tried them all, I think, and decided that Crazyhouse and Bacchus were a lot of fun. But I also played Atomic and giveaway chess, or losers chess even. But I stuck with Crazyhouse. So that would have been more like 8 years, 9 years, something like that. Yeah, I'm still playing regular chess as well. I play over the board in the Netherlands, in the national competition. And I don't play on a weekly basis or something with an OTB club. I used to do that, but I only play once a month now in the competition against other clubs. And actually we are doing quite well if we win the last round, which will be in a few weeks, I guess half of May or something like that. Then we will be champions and we will promote to the league above it, which I'm looking forward to. Some stronger opponents. But I used to invest a lot of time some more time in chess, but I don't do that anymore, since I'm studying and also working. But when my studies are done, I plan to to study some openings, go to tournaments over the board. And nowadays I just my last tournament was in December, but before that I haven't played a tournament in 3 years or something. Aside from some speed chess, blitz or rapid tournaments, but I don't really count that as regular chess. It's fun, of course, but you don't really improve by playing that, or at least I don't, by playing those types of tournaments. Let's see, he wants to play knight takes c6 and bishop at b7, I guess. Let's not allow that. Maybe he has knight at a7 now, I don't know. Let's just defend and see what he does. Someone in the chat asking, in the chat of the tournament, asking me what I'm studying. I'm studying history, and also I'll try to get my teacher's degree next year. And I plan to become a history teacher, which, aside from being a fun job, also is nice for if you want to play chess tournaments, since almost all the chess tournaments are in the holidays for the high school. So then I would be able to play some more chess tournaments. Over the board, that is, of course. Yeah, I'll have to handle kids then. Hey, boss. Yeah, kids could be, but they can be pieces. But okay, I'll see it as a challenge that they won't become annoying in my classes. Last Pioneer asking in the chat for tips against Master 10. Well, Master 10, I don't know. He's very fast, so try to keep up the pace, and then you might be able to win a game. Good luck with that last Pioneer. Yeah, hey boss, that's what I'm going for. I think it's also rewarding to teach someone well about history, but also about life. And if a few of my students will accomplish that, I would be very happy. Oleg Winner is probably has a pleasant position, but he is spending a lot of time. So that's in my favor. And I threatened to take his bishop and then maybe bishop at g6. Well, then again, if I take his bishop, he has f takes e3, and then this will become a threat. Let's see how to deal with this. I think knight at g6, so this becomes a threat. Yeah, he wants me to take with the pawn, and then he can take on f5. But I think I will play takes. And the thing is that he might have knight at f6 stuff for later on, but also I have this queen which is eyeing g2. I guess he wants me to take, and then bishop b5. And then if I take, he has knight c7. So I think I can just take this one. And now there are all kinds of threat against this king. Even now already queen takes g2 seems like a big threat. Probably mate even. If he doesn't address it, I will have to calculate the mate. Let's see. Queen takes g2. Knight at h4. He can run to g3, or he can go back. It will be mate, so he has to go to h3. Then bishop at g2. Queen g4, bishop f3. I don't see it. Well, probably it's mate, but I can just take here and and go easy. Because this is also mate. He only had a rook to defend, and I had some time left, so there it was okay to calculate, but if I had time trouble, I just would have taken the queen instantly. But it's nice. It's a nice exercise to try to visualize the checkmate patterns, even the unusual ones. Well, this is Pass 86, who is playing the Sicilian. He might be crazy. Alright, Abel, see you soon. Enjoy the walk. Let's see what he wants to do. If pawn at c7, but now I have made him use a pawn, and I have this pawn in the back. The most effective way to destroy people is to deny and obliterate their own understanding of their history. Nice. I enjoy you quoting Orwell. It's funny how Orwell is becoming more and more relevant. Thanks for following Blunderman1. Yeah, funny means sad. You're right. If he takes my knight, I have bishop takes g5. And if he takes my bishop, I will take bishop e6. He chooses to go this way. I did, however, give him a lot of pawns, which isn't necessarily bad, but it will give him time to play like pawn at f5 and try to harass my queen. If he doesn't go pawn at f5 or pawn at d5, I will probably go pawn at f5 or d5 myself, since the light squares are weak around his king. Ah, well, he lost connection. That's fortunate for me. 25 points so far. Stove Busse, this very strong Belgian player, has joined. Strong turnout so far. Let's see if any new players are joining. No, not so far. Of not anyone I know. James OG again. Last time I had this pretty easy game against him. So let's try if he. Well, here's this nice difference between Backhouse and Crazyhouse. If I play knight d4 here, he has c3. And in Backhouse you just ask for a pawn and place it on c2, and it's all kind of trouble for white. But in Crazyhouse he just wins my knight in, so therefore I went knight e7 g6, which is also completely fine. If he goes bishop at g5 again, I might opt to play queen b4. If I go queen b4 without him placing the bishop at c3 will be good, since it's defends b2, it also attacks my queen and attacks e5. Oh, there we go. I can go queen b4. And now there is this check, and I'm also threatening b2. And there will be trouble defending a1. This only, well, you should never take on b2 in chess games, they say, but sometimes it works, like now, because my pawn on b7 is also covered. But he does get quick development, so I have to be careful. let's see how to proceed. I think we can harass his knight. Maybe we can sacrifice the queen, but it's not necessary, I think. Just queen c3 and queen a5. Keep the pin alive. And now if it goes knight h4, I can take and then put a knight on h4. And knight g1 just looks sad, since he can't castle then. I have to account for knight at c4, and I think I just can play this. Now there might be this move, knight takes g2. Yeah, and then queen takes d2. I think it wins. If he takes back, of course. If he doesn't take back, I have this move, knight takes h4. He sees the threat. This looks scary, but I can take on d2 and threaten mate if he takes my rook. Of what will be mate, even. And I also have bishop at f6 in some cases. Let's see how to proceed. After queen takes h4, I want to take his knight, and then knight f3 will be a problem. Well, he's causing me problems. Let's see. I don't want to deal with this. Let's cover the knight. And as long as I don't give him a rook, I will be fine on f8. If he takes on c7, for example, and wants to place a knight on d6, which I guess is his plan. And on the other hand, I have this move bishop at f3 or h5. So I'm fairly comfortable here, even though he has his pieces around my king. Yeah, let's just proceed as planned. Yeah, maybe his queen is already trapped. It can go to g3. Oh no, it's not trapped yet. It can go to g3 and pawn f4. It can go to h3, so it has two squares left. But it's getting dangerous. Let's create more mating patterns. For example, if he has to move the rook, if I can take the rook, then I can play for mate. Oleg Winner is asking for a match, I think, but I'm planning to just play this tournament, and maybe afterwards I can play a match or play another tournament. We'll see. I don't know if you're listening to the stream, but I'll type some response after this game. Well, I really could use a pawn over here. And I don't see any concrete threats by him. The thing is, his queen needs to stay here. Otherwise I will take a knight and put it on h3. So the queen has to stay on the defensive. And now that I have this pawn, I can harass the queen again over here. And if he decides to move his knight, I have this option of d5 later. If I had taken with the rook, he had bishop at d6, winning my queen. This shouldn't be a problem, I think. I will try to win a rook. And let's see, bishop takes e4. Seems like a good move. If he takes with the bishop, I have this queen takes e4 move with all kinds of threats. And he can interpose with the bishop, but I just take on c2. Yeah, I'm not getting mated at home. And there is a knight at e2 in the end. Therefore I played pawn at g2 earlier, so his king is just cut off and I only need one piece to mate. Nice finish there, if I say so myself. Okay, let's look. Playing a normal chess opening, and then maybe I can take advantage of this square later. We'll see. I'll probably try to get in just castle. It's funny, you want to play traditional, but you should always account for captures or stuff like that. But now I really want to play bishop b4. I'm sacrificing a bunch of pawns, but I'm counting on his king to be opened and also well, moves like this, pawn at b4, and just try to poke him a little again and again. I don't know if it's all objectively correct, probably not, but I have preserved, so I should get a move on. Oh, I just blundered checkmate. He had pawn at h7 and knight at, and then bishop takes g7, knight at h5. Lucky he didn't see that. I should remain concentrated, not getting so loose. Oh, and then now he's checkmated. If king e1, queen e2, and now this nice smothered mate. All right, let's maintain focus in the next games and not play blunder checkmates, even though the opponent didn't see it. And not underestimate 1500 players. .35 points, but Stovebus and Sharkmeister are on a streak. Haven't lost a game, and also Oleg Winner is close. Burp Cow, who maybe my next opponent in this 1-0 Crazyhouse World Championship, which started like a few days ago, I think, organized by a little Plotkin. I've managed to beat my first opponent, and he is this favorite in his match. And well, if he wins, we have to play against each other. I don't know who is playing. I'll look it up. But this will be an interesting game to see where we stand. You see the score is 3-1, so not a lot of games between us. This knight takes d5 and pawn at e5 is if he takes back, so he can take all the pieces back and he wins a pawn, but his structure will be weakened, and also I have the initiative, so I'm happy to sacrifice that pawn. He just moved back, probably for that reason. And now I have forced myself to sacrifice material. Let's see, pawn at e5. If he takes c2, I probably just sidestep and I on h6. He doesn't, so let's move in even more. Now he threatens to take d6 and then f6, so maybe I should move the bishop. Sleipnir, welcome. Yeah, I had fun. Good thing, good that you had fun too. And you managed to beat me twice, I think. Which, well, I don't know if you think that's a good result. I'll leave it up to you. Yeah, he's getting in on f2, I think, yeah. Probably shouldn't have allowed that. But, well, maybe there's some move order that will fix this for me. Let's see, first try this one. Then take on e4. Yeah, now he can no longer take on g4, which is nice. And he also opted to not take my queen. Yeah, okay, 2 times more than you thought. Good for you. Well, this is hard. I want to play knight takes on d7 and then knight at f8, but I figured it isn't as good as because he is safe on h8 if I place rook here, so I need more material. So I probably have to play some defensive moves, but which one? That's always the question. Maybe it takes g6 and pawn at f2. Seems fine for now. He has knight takes f6 and queen takes g4, which is rather scary for me. Maybe then I have knight at g1, but okay. I don't know if he goes for it. If he doesn't, I might maybe will be able to consolidate with some knight at f4. He opts for this one. Well, let's take him up on his offer and go takes, I guess, and queen f1. He has knight takes g4 as a threat. That's annoying. But then again, well, let's just let's go for it. I think I'm busted here, but there might be some last chances. Let's try to swindle. If he just takes g4, it's game over. Yeah, he does. I'll let him checkmate me. Pawn at f2 or something like that. Yeah, rook at h2. Yeah, good game by him. 24 minutes to go. I'm up 6 points, which is nice, but I lost the streak, so maybe someone will come close. And now I have to play Stovebussen. I don't know if he normally is around 2600, but he, well, as you can see, I've lost twice against him. So I've had trouble playing him. And he has this very solid setup. Let's try to fight for the h7 b1 diagonal. He wants to play for d5, because now in some cases when he goes knight h5, I have this rook g8, and there's not much to worry about. And even now I think I'm okay. I will castle next move, and if he plays f3, knight g5 is an option, but also I can just let him take and see what happens. Well, I go knight h5. If he goes h4, knight h7 maybe, and then I'll try to exploit the pawn moves. But for now it's a fairly balanced opening by both players. Now he threatens to take and then take on b7. And I probably shouldn't allow that. Let's go take d3. And harass this knight on d4 or f4. If he takes on d5, I think I have bishop takes h2, and then I win the knight. Alright. If he takes with the pawn, there's this hole on e3, which he probably shouldn't allow. This is a multifunctional move. It also covers c7. Okay, let's see. I'm tempted to sacrifice on d4 and try to play for pressure. Don't know if it's good. Maybe rook e8 first. Let's see what he wants to do. Now I sort of have this threat of takes on d4 and bishop at e3 sometimes. I like knight takes d4 and knight takes g3 and then bishop at e3. And if he takes with c pawn, I can just take another time. He might, he needs to find a strong move, therefore he's thinking. Maybe knight at h5 or something like that. Ah, he wants to sacrifice. Maybe he was scared for the move I just told. He wants to block the e5. It seems reasonable. And open the f file. I think I have to take him on his offer. Now, do I take this one or do I play another move? Knight takes e3 seems also fine. he takes, then it takes twice. I have bishop at g5, and well, he has to choose. He has to move his queen, and at least the initiative is on my side now. Although it cost me some material. And I might play pawn at e3 and then queen takes d4, and well, he challenges that. But now I have this threat of taking. He wants to take with the king. All right, let's see. I sacrificed a lot of material now. So I have to stay aggressive, otherwise I just lose. And I could retreat the bishop or something like that, but then he just starts to take over, I figured. Now I have the threat of rook b2 and rook e3. And if he blocks, I think I can take, and there's queen at b1 at d1 stuff. Yeah, so I win back some material. Let's try this move. Keep the pressure on the clock. And I was thinking about queen at d1. Looks nice. I don't know if it works, but if he takes, there probably is some sort of mating pattern. Yeah, he doesn't. But now I think I can promote, and I threatened checkmate in one. He doesn't see it. There we go. Happy to beat the strongest player in a tournament, at least on rating, and also my first win against Overbuzzer. Happy with that. Sometimes you just have to stay aggressive and leave your pieces hanging and keep sacrificing. It's very hard to decide when you have to defend and when you have to keep attacking. And I don't know if I can't give you any rules or something. It's just the Crazyhouse instinct, I guess, which these stronger players and maybe and myself to some extent tend to have. You feel like this is a situation where if you defend, you will be okay, or you think, well, if I defend now, he will crush me anyway, so I just have to attack. I'm not scared for sacrifices on g3. And if he takes on c3 first and plays something like knight at e4 again after this queen e1 move. Well, let's see. If I took with the rook, he had bishop takes g3 for free, and I don't want him. Getting away with it so easily. Well, this is one of those situations where if you're black, he might feel like he should be attacking more and more and more. He already sacrificed 2 pieces, so if he doesn't keep attacking now, he probably will end up losing. When I just get safe, and he's in big trouble. But the sacrifice didn't seem that sound, since I can always go back to h1, for example. And now I'm having threats of pawn at e7, pawn at g7, which will be very hard to deal with. Then I think the only move to cover both is queen f6, but then even I win the queen with either of the with pawn at g7, for example, or bishop at g7 for that matter. he covers e7, so I go for g7. Let's pre-move that. Yeah, it would have been game over soon. Winner Oleg is catching up, using the fact that I lost my streak against Burbcow. Yeah. So it will be an exciting finish between, I think, the two of them. Stovebasse has lost track against me. So we'll see who will get first place. I think it will be time for me to berserk all games now. And just play a bit faster in the opening. I find this d4 move in this opening very useful. It's not. It might not be the best move, but well, it leads to these kind of sacrifices by the white player, but also it abrupts white's normal play with d4 and bishop d3, which is very nice for white. That's a free queen. Let's see. How to proceed. Just develop. That's usually a good advice if you don't know what to do. Just develop pieces. Always be sure you don't get checkmated somehow, but other than that, just develop pieces. He's close to trap my queen, but I have this queen a4 move, which will save it. Because if you don't develop your pieces, well, in defense or offense, you will be in trouble. Let's poke a bit at f2. He might have h3, trapping the queen, but I'm planning to sacrifice my queen for one of the knights. I think the one on g3. If he takes with the knight, I have bishop takes f2, and if he takes with the pawn, I have bishop takes g1. And he only has a queen in return, so he doesn't have any kind of mate yet. I have to be careful, of course, because I'm not developed on the king side, and d7 could be weak in the future. So to cover d7, I played rook d8, and also I'm eyeing d3 now. There's this nice threat of queen a4, forking the king and the knight. Oh, sorry about that. If he blocks with the bishop, for example, I can take the knight and he can't take back because of the pin. Yeah, it's hard for him to find a good move, I guess. I think that's a good one. But I can play rook here, and he can't block. He can only block with the queen, so I gain another queen. And now maybe just queen at d5, covering c6 and creating some threats with queen takes e4. I was trying to say. If he takes on c6, I'll go back to d7 with the queen. There we go. Now there's this threat of knight at c2, which he has to address. Yeah, so he does. I don't believe this. He only has a rook. He can put it on d4 and take a4, but I think there should be a checkmate here, or at least a strong attack. And I always have this option of playing d takes e4, just taking another piece, because he doesn't have any pieces to checkmate me. Yeah, let's go for that. Now I threaten knight at h1, for example, and queen at f2, and then queen takes g3. Yeah, let's do that. Seems like the most efficient way. There we go. Let's see. That's fortunate. Winner Oleg lost the game, so now probably I will win the tournament, which is nice. Nice to see Yasser Sarawan join. As I mentioned before in yesterday's stream, it's I hope more and more strong GMs or even strong chess player decides to play Crazyhouse. I think it will be good for the game. Oh, that's a mouse slip. I meant to take on e7 and then knight at d6 would have forked these guys. Well, he allows it anyway. He could have taken twice on f6 and that way punish my mouse slip. Well, that's just mate on c7 because the bishop is covering a6. Happy to win another quick game. I noticed that tomorrow the Crazyhouse Shields is scheduled, and normally I don't have time to play it, because I have to work. But now it's Easter, and in the Netherlands we get a second Easter day. I don't know if that's a thing in other countries, but that means that also Monday is a free day. So I probably will stream a big part of the Crazyhouse Shield Arena tomorrow. I don't know if I'll manage to stream the whole thing, but I'll try to be there at least for a few hours. Probably from the beginning till 4 hours in or something like that. Let's see, can I get away with taking here and then bishop e7? Looks risky. But then again, I don't think I have anything else. Maybe bishop at e7 is better. Inviting him to sacrifice, but I don't think he has a good follow-up. And now, well, I missed knight at h3. I moved too quickly. If I play knight at h3 and then he can take. If he doesn't take, I take the queen, of course. And then I had knight at f3. I was just a bit too quick with knight at e4. It seemed so natural to play that move. Let's go bishop e7. If queen g4, knight at f5 probably, and h5. Try to open the h file. Yeah, he might counter with that move. Can I get away with rook g8? Maybe even g6. Oh, rook g8. Problem is that the rook is isn't covered, so yeah, I misplayed this. I should have played knight at h3 and f3 to win the queen, but now he has this, for example, f3 to harass my my knight, and then my knight has to move, and he has knight at f6. Or even now he can try to make use of the pin. But now I don't have to take back, which is nice. I can play knight at h6, and he has to move his queen. And now expecting knight at e5, and then I'm planning to take here and on g5. And the bishop is covering d8 and e7, so he doesn't have a checkmate. Now he does, if I don't take action, but I just can take back. I can take back now. And now there are all kinds of threats, knight at e2 for example, which he should consider. I think knight g4 is the correct move. Threatening mate. Let's see how to deal with this. I don't see the checkmate just yet. Let's renew the threat. The threat is now queen at g1, and he has to take, and I take on f2. No, it isn't checkmate yet. Sorry. Ah, yeah. No, let's change the move order, and then win the queen. If he took I had queen at g1. Also a good suggestion if you are trying to find a tactic in Crazyhouse as well as in normal chess. Change the move order if it doesn't work. I have to be careful for rook takes g5 or f5. I mean, sorry. He doesn't go for it. Then I think I can go knight takes g3. Yeah. And I have two queens, so let's just sacrifice one and mate him. Alright, that's it. The pairings are closed, and I won the tournament. Happy to put that one on my resume. I think there is a bullet tournament in Crazyhouse coming after this one. Yeah, I'll play that one and then call it a day. So to end with some quick games. Thanks Sleipnir and Abos. If you'd like to play me, by all means join the Crazyhouse Bullet Arena, starting in 15 seconds. Hopefully some more players will
10,
join
9,
us, Sleipnir.
8,
Otherwise
7,
it will be
6,
a repeat of our
5,
match.
4, 3,
Good luck.
2, 1, 0.
Let's just play positional sound moves. Maybe go for h5, h4 in the future. No, that's just a pawn for me, I think. Let's not take on f3, because then he had queen and takes f3. Getting a bit used to switching to 1-0 after that 5-0 tournament. Bishop takes d5 could be an issue. And then sacrificing on f7 maybe later, but he doesn't go for it, so let's defend. Place pieces around the king. In 1-0 it's important to, well, of course stay up on the clock, but also don't allow your opponent to get an easy attack, because it's harder to find defensive moves with little time. It's always hard to find defensive moves in Crazyhouse for that matter, but with the time disadvantage it's even harder. What's he threatening? Well, I have to move quickly. Let's just move to c8. Alright, let's not walk into mate there. Oh, he's fast, sacrificing all this material. Let's pre-move a lot. Ah, he's so quick. Whoa, that was quick by him. Well done, Sleipnir. Yeah, also our last game I also managed to lose some time. Yeah, speed for the win, he's saying in the tournament chat. Yeah, good job. I guess I should not allow time scrambles, but well, I got a bit too caught up with this pawn on f6 and what to do with it. I just should have kept attacking. Pawn at f3 or something like that. Would have been fine, but okay. Not a lot of players joining just yet. Let's hope they do soon. Right, there we go. Prissy guy. Well, let's say play something else than knight f3. If he moves at all. Yeah, let's play this bishop f4, bishop d3 system, which is also very reliable. And the point of the system is playing f3 at some moment, at now even with tempo. Now there's a spin on this knight he has to deal with. I'm trying to get in on f7. If he takes back, he has to block with the bishop to save his knight, but then I get another bishop, and well, he gives me the knight. He could have also sacrificed the rook. If he moves the rook now to f8, I have, of course, e7 discover check. This is all going very well for me. I have safe king, and I'm winning all the pieces. Let's see. Gotta move quicker. Trying to do some stuff with bishop d6 and then promote. Therefore I had to block with the knight on e8. Yeah, I think I have to give this some attention. Now there's this bishop, and he has to make at least a few moves to attack me. And there's checkmate. There we go. Tournament is filling up, and now I probably will have a quick game. Winner Alec, let's go. I don't think we played each other. Oh, we played each other once in the daily Crazyhouse arena. Let's go bishop e3 and knight h4. And just knight b5 next, probably. And then some bishop f4 IDs. Sacrifice on e5 and g7 maybe later on. Maybe a problem for him. Yeah, let's just wrong pre-move. Drop the queen. But okay, my position is still well, of course I'm behind a lot of material, but I'm still fighting here. Since my king is well, pretty safe, and now I think he allowed checkmate. Yeah, there we go, g4. Oh, that was a mistake by me. Misplayed that. I think there was checkmate, but I forgot he was covering with the knight. But even now there are so many threats. Queen at e5 or g5 is checkmate in one. He'll probably sack all his material and try to find some way in, but I don't think there is any. There we go. Next few games I should play some e4 to mix it up, I guess. Just going through the motions isn't always the best of ideas. Let's take once and then go. What do I want to do? It's tricky because he also has this checkmate threats. But I think I'm one move ahead. If he plays knight g3, for example, I can take. Now I cannot take. But there is this queen at h8 and knight f6. misplayed this. I thought I had a bishop left, but I don't. Oh, he couldn't go to g6. Oh, well. It was... maybe it was brilliant all along. Yeah. I thought he could go to g6 and then... and that would have been a problem for me, but he couldn't, so it was forced checkmate after all. Nice to sacrifice the queen and mate with the last pawn. Gives your opponent that feel for like, darn it, I should have won that game. If he had just one pawn less. Hans is next up. Maybe he thought I was pre-moving. That's just a free knight. If he castles, I sacrifice and take on f3 next. If he decides to take, of course. There's always df. Let's just proceed normally. Now I can retreat the knight and get aggressive. At some stage, h6 maybe a good move to lure away his knight. All right, he decides to sacrifice the bishop, and maybe he's banking on taking on f7, but I don't think it will work because I have this queen sacrificed, which I also have now. And I'll take the rook, and e2 is covered. That's important to note, because now I can play pawn at e2 and rook d1. Alright, winner Oleg again. H4 wins a piece, but I'm banking on h6 and then take with a pawn. And then the h-file will become open, so I don't know if he'll have the guts to take it, or just decide it's not good. Apply pressure on d4. That's just generous. Now I'll try to get another knight and play a knight at h3. I don't think this should work, because I'm not allowing him to run to e1. And let's see if I get mated here. No, I think I'm able to take this one and run. And that's gonna be a game. Yeah, there we go. Besides that first round loss against Sleipnir, I have played good games, I guess. Atamek is joining, a player who I've encountered 15 times. But there are some strong players joining, which is nice. A few more games to go. Sleipnir Good for you. You have this. You have the speed to compete with the top guys in these kind of tournaments, I think. Yeah, this is just a whole asking to be used. And it's gonna be checkmate in a few moves. There we go. Usually I don't have that much troubles against Hans. I don't know why. He just his playing style suits me, as shown by our all-time record being 32 to 1. In this case, rating does mean something. This system again. It's very solid, but he has to watch out for business on e3 in the future. Let's just be very defensive and f6 next. Force him to sacrifice on c7. He doesn't want to take twice, okay. I'll just take all and see what he wants. It seems very menacing over here, but he really needs a knight or a rook to do any damage or any real damage, and I'm banking on me first solving the issue. Let's see, how do I want to do this? Let's go here. I probably misplayed this. I missed pawn at b6, that he forced the knight. I thought I had more moves. And now I'm just losing him because he can take a pawn on d5 and I'm done. Maybe I have this one. And if he went to h2, I had this one with check. And now it's just time to roll, so move fast. Avoid checks, give checks. Yeah. Yeah, Sleipnir, if you really want to get good at Crazyhouse, I recommend not. Yeah, 1-0 and faster is fun, but I recommend to play with an increment so that you learn to get good positions and also win those good positions, and there will of course be time pressure if you play with increment, but I learned playing 3+2 actually helped my game a lot. You get to find original ideas, and you really challenge yourself, calculating and not just making pre-moves. I really want to sacrifice my queen. Don't know if it's any good, but I just felt like it. Let's see how he defends. Funny thing is, there's this mate in 2 thread now with pawn at g7 and h7, so he probably should play something at to defend that. Oh yeah, he tries this one. Now take the rook and take the knight, and I have a lot of my material back, and I still have this pretty safe structure at home. Let's see. This seems like a good move. If he takes with the knight, I have knight at g6, checkmating. And if he takes with the queen, I win the queen. If he takes, I'll promote to knight and have mate shortly, I guess. Let's see, where's the mate? Let's go here. And the thing is that now knight g6 mates. There we go. Fun. It wasn't really a forcing queen sacrifice. He wasn't checkmated right away, but I felt like there had to be enough attacking chances, so I went for it, and it paid off. Happy to put that one away. All right, Chen, next up. Let's opting for an early queen trade. Right, he doesn't want to trade queens, then I'm happy to take the pieces. If queen a4, I can block with queen d7 and cover the knight. There we go. Just too much material. I'll get it. The game wasn't immediately over yet, but I had pawn at g2 and winning the house. Five more minutes to go, and I'm comfortably first. Winner Alec again. Oh yeah, I promised to play e4, so I'll do it again. Do it anyway. And make it a sacrifice. Let's see, knight e5. Let's get aggressive. All right, he opts to give the piece back. But now I have this knight at f6 possibility, which will probably win the queen. Now I'm just being super aggressive. I don't know if it's sound, but I'm making him spend time. And he doesn't have that much material, which is in my advantage. There we go, that's a queen. And this should lead to mates soon. Yeah, queen at f7 will be checkmate. There we go. This is seems to be a popular way of playing a sort of gambit or something. The rook lift to a3 or a6, for that matter. And what players are claiming who play that is that the rook is just as much as a piece, and you have to prove the rook is worth more. But I'm always happy to take players on up on the challenge. And now I've managed to win 2 pieces back for the rook, so I'm just up material now. I want to get in on f3. There we go. Alright. Let's pile up on f3. Ah, yes, that move, I missed that one. Still, pawn at f3. And just sacrifice my way through. Oh, ugly. Completely missed that, and I don't have any blockers left. There we go. That's just sad. Well, that's a sign that that the concentration is gone, and I should probably end it soon. I'll get one more game in, and then I'll call it a night. And winner Oleg really wanted a match, but it's time for me to go to sleep. As I said before, I'll hope to see you again tomorrow at Crazyhouse Shield Arena, which I'm planning on streaming as well. This again is not the best game by me. He is clearly better here. But okay, he's not won yet. Maybe he wanted to draw. Ah, this is a nice trick. If he takes back, I have 97. So I practically win a piece here. And now it's not so easy for him to... that just gives me a free checkmate. Or at least a very good attack if he had taken. Alright, there we go. The Crazyhouse Shield Arena is, well, I guess 3+2. Winner Oleg is right, I was lucky there. But happy to win the tournament. Yeah, it's 3+2. It lasts 6 hours. As said, I probably won't play 6 hours, but I'll try to be there to start, or at least 6:30 my time, since I also have to have dinner beforehand. And it's very interesting because if you berserk, you will lose the 2-second increment. So berserking is a challenge, but we'll see tomorrow. For now, I wish you a good night or a good day wherever you are. Thanks for watching.